well, I believe at least, Hyun has been practicing the raise up for Penguin Sledding, so definitely we'll be looking forward to that. But we are going to be getting right into it. Game 1 Grand Finals here. Week number 40. 40 weeks of Valorant Sunday Showdown action has brought us right here. It is Penguin Sledding going up against Archons, starting us out on Bind. Game 2 will take us on over to Haven. We're taking an eye now on these team compositions. Already seeing the Rays locked in for Sora on the side of Archons. No Jet coming through for Archons on the side of Penguin Sledding. Hazard sticking with that Jet. It will be Hyun on the Rays, though Penguin Sledding opting for the Brimstone over the Omen here on Bind.
I was going to mention, are you Team Brimstone or are you Team Omen after that latest patch?
Goodness, you know, I gotta say, the tactician in me still really loves the Omen. I really love that ultimate ability. However, the wild beating stallion that resides in my heart simply loves a good orbital strike, and I just will not be denied getting to see some cool orbital strikes here. I love the Brimstone buffs. I hope to see more Brimstone here on more maps, but as it is, we are on Bind. I think Brimstone, especially with that Molotov, we've seen come in so clutch, as if it's a whole nother player added to the team, denying spike plants, denying diffuses. That Brimstone just has such a wide availability of those tools. So I gotta say, like I said, my brain says Omen, my heart certainly says Brimstone.
Well, I guess we're going to solve the debate once and for all.
Absolutely.
Whether it's Team Brimstone or Team Omen of who is the better agent here. But right away, something interesting is that J-Ben on the Omen is going to be on the defensive side. Now, of course, the smokes on the defense are great by all means, but usually Omen players we see a little bit more an aggressive style as well. And of course, we saw Archons in the past, they were able to do that very well. But them on the defense, they're going to have to play a bit of a slower game here. We do have two of the duelists on board. Sora and Hazard already on site, it seems. Sora's going to have to relegate themselves a little bit back towards the, holy moly, the lamps, but they're being thrown with everything. Rev able to find Hazard right off the rip. That's going to be the most aggressive duelist, but the one-for-one trade coming out from Win is going to be such a huge thorn in the sides of everybody on the defense. Rev still holding on tight. Never mind, he's going to go down to another trade. It's a battle of the lambs. J-Ben's going to be taking down Infamous. It's a back and forth. There's no clear-cut winner here. The spike, of course, going to be in the ground. Two left defenders to bring themselves onto the board. They can get this first round. It's going to be really important to them, Dilly, but they're not able to. They're heavily damaged. In fact, everybody's heavily damaged. Risk able to find Jetly. Going to be a win with another trade. It's the battle of the trades. The paint grenade's going to go and try to deny it just like a molly.
Oh my goodness!
Like it's going to go. Wow. Never mind. It's going to go to Penguin Sledding. That clutch factor they had against headshot percentage is still going to keep going.
Oh my goodness, Penguin Sledding, absolutely unreal round from Penguin Sledding. They were brought to the absolute wire. You saw how low those health bars were, brought down all the way to the red, and still Hyun dancing on that tripwire, just dancing along the razor's edge there. Surviving was Hyun, and the expertly placed paint shells off of that satchel lift up there. Penguin Sledding, an expertly played pistol round, gets them an excellent start to this grand finals, and now Archons on the save round, just trying to find a little bit of hope here, but Penguin Sledding shutting the blinds on any of that sunshine.
I mean, we saw them aggressing once very quickly onto A before, and they're going to do it again for a more or less broken by light by round here. The judge, though, Hazard has a great potential for holding things down. It's a bit of a long-range angle, looking to find one in heaven. That's why they have the Frenzy, able to come in closer with a quick, almost double kill. Wynn's able to steal one away, and the final one, Complex, is going to fall from heaven itself. Wynn has been able to get two of these clutches now, a triple kill in the second round, and I believe a double kill in the first. You don't want to mess with this race. No, excuse me. 2 triple kills.
I was just gonna say, that is a
Let
clean.
the record show. 2 triple kills, 6-0 for those first 2 rounds. That is That's actually insane, Dilly.
Clean 6-0 there for Hyun. Amazing stat line to start us off here in these first 2 rounds. I had seen him talking a bit in chat saying, you know, I've practiced, I've polished this agent. Well, here you go. Here are the results. It is very difficult for Archons to deal with as of now, but here they've got a full buy. They've got Sora in position. They've got Complex getting the opening kill, and Sora following up, taking down Moonblue. Penguin Sledding quickly, as soon as the round starts, find themselves in a 3v5, and they have lesser equipment available to them. Jelly trying to find an avenue in, but just going to get pushed back here. Now Jelly opting for this corner rather than an advance. Penguin Sledding may have to give away this bonus round, come back and live to fight another day.
It's not too late just yet. It depends on where that spike's gonna go next, Dilly. If they're able to rotate around to B side, they could have the round in their pocket. But they're so headstrong on the A side. 3 different defenders already looking around. It could be up to Jelly to find the intel from lamps or near the back of that U-Haul truck. But things are stalling out a little bit right now. 40 seconds left. The spike carrier's gonna go down. Complex is able to find Huin, and that is gonna be a huge loss for Penguin Sledding. Now they might have to give up the round here. But Jabin's able to find Infamous at the trade once again. Jelly, the last one alive, has to relegate himself back into the death realm. It's going to be Complex with a triple kill. And finally putting themselves back on the board once again.
Complex taking on the role of playmaker here yet again. 2 games in a row. Complex getting these huge multi-kills that completely turn around on its head. Getting the, I believe, the triple kill there to get Complex started off for the night. So really impressive duelist work coming out from Complex. See if they can carry that into more rounds for Archons, as now they're looking down a rather sturdy buy for Penguin Sledding, though I hesitate to call it a full buy. There is still a judge on the attacker's side. Do believe in the hands of Twin. So, or excuse me, it's in Hazard, who dashes forward now out onto A side looking for a fight. He's gonna find it. He's gonna find 2. Hazard mowing down Archons. Archons left without a single response on A side. Penguin Sledding taking over.
That is the jet play that every player dreams of ever getting. Skirting on into the site, smoking everything out, and getting a double kill with the judge. Absolutely beautiful. And with that, that could have been the play of the round right there. Rev now on the backseat. He has to push on forwards, but he might be finding himself in the same position that Penguin Sledding was only a few seconds ago, and having to relegate this round yet again away. There's not a lot you can really do here. It's a 5v2. You could push on, but you have to face up against not only Hazard, who just massacred 2 of your people in showers, or you could face up the rest of the army of Penguin Sledding in various different parts of a site. They're all going to be start flooding out, trying to maybe find those exit frags, but at this point it's too little too late. Even a recon bolt's not going to help you here. They've gone back to safety, and that's going to be a 2-round lead now in the favor of Penguin Sledding.
Goodness gracious, Penguin Sledding. They slipped just a bit for that 3rd round and stole it right back with a flawless round win there in the 4th. Really impressive. And what has now got my spider senses tingling, there is that orbital strike available for Infamous. We'll be keeping an eye on that to see where that's headed. But possibly more important for now is the showstopper in the hands of Hyun. That could be deadly, or that could be disappointing. We certainly wait to find out, but Quinn certainly not having been disappointing thus far, still leading the charge with that 6-kill stat line. Now doing a bit of scouting towards Hookah. It's not gonna find any defenders towards their Archons, playing really close and tight here in this 5th round. Understanding that Penguin Sledding are already itching for a fight, and once more, here comes Hazard up and over in the cloud cover. Now here comes Hazard up and over, takes down Sora. There goes the orbital strike, taking down Complex. Jelly follows up with the kill onto Jabin. Hazard pops that Blade Storm, pops Brisk down, leaving just Revo, the lone defender remaining. Penguin Sledding, blink and you'll miss it. They've taken down Archons.
Yeah, Rev has been in this position before, not too long ago. I'm starting to feel a little bit of deja vu. The only difference this time is that there's a knife in your stomach. A triple kill from Hazard is going to secure things yet again for a 3-round lead in Penguin Sledding. You know, we were kind of tricked in the beginning, Dilly.
Do you think so? We may have had some false hope. We may have had some false hope.
Because we did see the paint grenade come out in the beginning from Hookah, from who was that, Huynh? And we thought maybe that could have been a push through Hookah, a very aggressive one. But because the whole Penguin Sledding lineup was so spread out, they decided to consolidate themselves and rush again for A. It has been near flawless up until now for them to go forwards and get this in. Well, as the way it goes, why fix what's not broken? Sora, though, with the paint grenade this time, trying to stall out the aggressive maneuver of the Jet. It's going to be a Molly instead. They got stalled out themselves. The Molly's able to find one, but even then, there's so many defender attackers going on by that they can't keep up. Moonblue's able to find Complex, and Hazard's able to follow it up as well. The kill feed, Red again with the blood of the defenders. Only one left alive, and it's going to be Brisk way far away on the other site. Only with a Bucky in hand. Dilly, this is a do-or-die situation now. You can stall out as much as you want and hold on to your economy, but if it's going to happen 4 rounds in a row, something's got to change.
Penguin Sledding putting on an absolute statement here in Grand Finals. Brisk will find a bit of revenge on the ever-risky Hazard there, though. Hazard may be happy for an opportunity to rebuy some equipment, but goodness, Penguin Sledding, they've done it with style, haven't they? They have simply kicked down the door and let Archons know they are here to play. Penguin Sledding, they are to be taken seriously. Don't let that name fool you. They're very cute and very deadly, our Penguin Sledding. Brisk trying desperately to put some economic damage onto the shoulders of the attackers, but it simply will not happen. Look how fat those bankrolls are, and Hazard picking up the judge once more. I'm starting to think this is a strategic decision here from Hazard, and you can't say it hasn't been paying off as of yet.
I mean, rushing into the site with a judge in hand is the definition of strategic there. It is absolutely evil, chaotic there, and it's been working out almost every single time we've seen it.
It really has.
The only time it didn't work out for Hazard was when they went in on the pistol round and immediately got fragged out. The difference is now better armor, better utilities, and better gunship that they have. Sora's going to be playing aggressive again. They think this is the only potential way to bring it back. But even then, Boom Bob Paint Grenade's not going to do a whole lot, and the reverse showstop is going to come out instead. Away in right now is going to be looking around to see what they can find. And the quick scope able to find Complex, and Hazard's the boot to find another judge kill. It just doesn't end, it seems. Another plan's going to be going on down there. Able to conquer the site. Treeman's able to find another one and a double kill. But it brings things to a 2v2. But Dilly, the advantage right now is that there's a neural theft and there is the Omen ult right now. Brad is able to find Huynh, but only one left alive, and it's going to be Moonblue completely spotted out.
That is maybe a little... Oh, goodness gracious, no! Moonblue steals the show. I was going to say maybe a little too much greed, maybe a little too much swagger from Penguin Sledding. No, completely wrong. Not enough swagger. Moonblue, ice in their veins, clutches out the 1v2, holds it down. Goodness gracious, Penguin Sledding, they are starting to run it up here in the first half. This is an impressive performance, and Archons, they have got a lot of work on their hands. They have been dealt a difficult task here from Penguin Sledding, and Penguin Sledding on the opposite side, they're simply putting on a show for the rest of us to see.
Crazy too is that we're seeing a lot of adaptability coming out from Archon, trying to adapt around what exactly is going on. With the Brimstone just able to smoke everything out, having Hazard be completely unchecked. Hazard's able to find Sora, and everyone's able to get on site with so much ease because, well, and I hate to admit it, because of almost solely the Brimstone.
Absolutely, it's starting to pay off. Those iPad smokes, they are just so nicely placed, denying the defense any sort of vision, denying them any sort of hope. Jabin will be able to take the head off of Jelly, but with 17 HP remaining, it's not much more they can find. Hazard mows down Complex. Hazard,
you gotta get him off the judge.
Playing with so much style. How do you get him off the judge? It's one of the cheapest guns in the game. That is a tool difficult to deny Hazard. Hazard, 11 kills, 8 rounds into the game, putting on, I hate to repeat what I'm saying, but putting on a statement show is Hazard, showing the Valorant scene what is possible when you just ramp up the pressure, you ramp up the aggression, you ramp up the pace of play. Hazard taking it to the defense, running up this score now in the first half. See if Archons have some extra trick up their sleeve to try and deal with this. Hunter's Fury Now coming out from Penguin Sledding, trying to hunt out some of the defenders. Hazard's jumping in off the back of that, going on the hunt once more. Hazard up and over, but Archons have now adapted. Here is the defense from Archons holding strong. Jabin picks up the double kill. Complex gets a kill of his own, leaving just 2 attackers remaining. That's the adaptation we needed to see from Archons.
It only took a few ults, a molly, and an op to help secure the kill onto Hazard. Mission is a go. But now there's only 2 left alive, and they've shown they have clutch potential themselves, especially Moonblue in a 2v2 situation that easily could have been in the favor of Archons, win his favor in a 2v1. Here we are, though. 2v5, 50 seconds still left on the clock. Spike in the possession of Moonblue. They could rotate to B site. It seems like they avoid it like the plague. They could push on forwards. They have some intel on ones behind the truck, but even then around the corners, Complex finding Jelly, and coming out from underneath, it's going to be Rev across the road, finding Moonblue as well. This could be the first sign of adaptability that Penguin Sledding needs to bring out. And like I said, I'm going to sound like a broken record too myself, Dilly. The Brimstone smokes are so accurately placed, it's allowing Hazard to get through the site completely unchecked, even against an op. You saw that one smoke on top of the U-Haul? That is exactly planned, so Hazard can land on it and not be seen at all from heaven.
Absolutely, it's all part of the game plan here. The Penguin Sledding master plan, if you will. Infamous on 7 assists right there. The game recognizing the input Infamous is having on Penguin Sledding's success. But Archons with a bit of hope. Hazard trying to snuff it out. Once again, pushing forward, gets the first kill, but Sora is ready to greet Hazard right around the corner. Takes him down with that operator. Jabin traded out by Jelly. Brisk with that Hunter's Fury takes down Infamous. That Smokes off the table for Penguin Sledding. That's Moonblue off the table. Now just Jelly in a 1v3 for Penguin Sledding. Archons finally finding some momentum in this game 1.
That's true. It was a long time coming, but it finally came. It's a 3v1 right now. It's going to be the Jelly. He's been relegated to the showers before, and if you remember way back, the first round that Archon was able to win things out, it was Jelly in a 1vx situation inside showers as well. He peeked on forwards, and he got instantly mowed down. This time around, it seems like he's kind of debating potentially about doing it again. The molly was there to force him away from the exit point, but he's going to go for it. He doesn't like to not play aggressive. Going on forwards now, possibly locking eyes with someone. The recon dart's going to spawn him out. It's a 1v3. They know exactly where he's at, but he's able to find the jumping Sora. Shotguard's going to go down and miss, but one right around the corner and one Broomhaven could seal his fate. But if he can stall it out long enough, he might be able to get this 2v1. It's much more of a real possibility than it was a 3v1. 1v1 now. Oh, never mind. It is a 2v0. It's going to be Complex instead, finding Jelly and putting themselves on the board just a teeny tiny bit more, but only a 4 scoreline difference.
I really think Jelly could have saved there, but looked at the clock and saw how much time was left on the round and said, forget it. I'm just going to put on a show regardless. Go for the clutch. I love it from Jelly.
Fine by me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's exactly what we want to see. We want to see these teams rolling the dice, taking the risk, just putting in that little bit extra. Jelly there, going for the heroics. We love to see it. Got it started off on the right note, but fell a bit short. And now Archons, 2 rounds in a row, which may not sound like much, but it is a very important silver lining in what has been a stormy first half for the Archons. They can pull it together at the end of this first half. The second half looks much brighter. Sora now, with that operator in hand, has definitely been getting some momentum once again under their feet, finding important opening kills in the previous 2 rounds. See if that trend continues. Hazard, though, has been so instrumental for this Penguin Sledding success. Has that Blade Storm ready to go. Can Hazard find an opening kill as the spike goes down? There's the up and over. There's Hazard taking down Sora. Hazard on the hunt for more with that blade reset. Oh, has big information now on Revo. There goes Hazard for the double kill. Now, here comes the operator, so close. Now Hazard brought down to 14 HP, sends out the Cloudburst. Here's the sound cue. Complex wins out. Complex wins out times 3. Complex on the triple kill, keeping Archons alive in this round. The spike taking down up against the defenders. Complex sending out the Molotov, so close to finding Jelly. Complex on the 4K, on the hunt for the ace, but Moonblue shuts that down. Moonblue needs to stop the defuse. Moonblue with the double kill clutch. Penguin Sledding continue to inflict the pain.
Beautiful showing from Moonblue again, showing just how much of a clutch warrior he can be at times. The whole gambit is there for Penguin Sledding so far in this first half. You have the crazy entry, able to frag out so much. Complex, the secondary entry, it seems, able to clean up the mess that Hazard leaves behind, like you saw with that 4K. And Moonblue, staying true like a stoic warrior, able to get those final pop shots needed to make sure the defuse doesn't go down. It's exactly the perfect sugar slice and everything nice you see, Dilly, to make a Powerpuff Girl composition of an aggressive attacking team unbind.
Absolutely. Penguin Sledding have played this half perfectly and now look set to get themselves a 9-3 advantage going into the second half. But standing in their way is those 3 ultimates here from Archons, specifically the run it back. There it goes. You hear the sound cue. Here comes the push from Complex through the teleporter. Flash goes out. That's completely stopped there by Infamous. And now here comes the response from Penguin Sledding. Hyun takes down Sora, pops that showstopper for good measure. Now on the hunt, looking to send it out into that corridor. Don't think they'll find anybody this time around. Oh no!
Oh,
found
never mind.
2 big fish, did Hyun, with that showstopper. Archons have been completely decimated here in this 12th round. 2 members remaining. Make it 1. Hyun on the quadra kill. Make it an ace. Hyun picks up 5. Penguin Sledding pick up 9.
Oh, 3-9 is a great scoreline if you're Penguin Sledding right now. But are they going to be able to keep up that same momentum on the defensive half? We saw what exactly each team could bring out on the attack there. Penguin Sledding, having only 2 duelists, were able to skirt onto the site like it was nothing. But now, going up against a Raze and a Phoenix could be equally as scary on Archon's end, especially what would generally be considered a much more aggressive smoker like Omen. But they made the Brimstone work.
Absolutely. Infamous had their work cut out for them in that first half, but to Infamous's credit, those smokes were perfectly set up for Hazard to just wreak havoc upon Archons. They did not have an answer for Hazard largely through that half, and now Archons looking to put the pressure on a Penguin Sledding, surging forward through showers, looking to take a fight, but Penguin Sledding wisely backing off, but Hyun stepping forward now out of hookah, looking for a fight on the B side of the map. Archons not engaging quite yet, holding their cards close to their chest. Now there are some flanks developing here from Penguin Sledding. They could very easily wrap around Archons if Archons aren't careful. Here comes the engages. Revo will win out over Hazard, an important first step for Archons now in a 5v4 as we tick down to a minute. Hyun, oh no, Hyun loses out to Revo. That is disaster for Penguin Sledding now in a 3v5. They wanted to get themselves on the double digits. That is looking difficult to do as Archons now have free roam of the map. They're gonna stroll on over towards the B side, and Penguin Sledding, not much they can do to stop them. No one there to stop them onto B site. Will be a 3v5 retake situation here for Penguin Sledding.
That's going to be going down now. 5 still left alive, minus a little bit of Revo. He's taken so much damage that any single shot will take him down. But all those defenders have to relegate themselves for the most part through CT, except for a very certain Cypher on the defensive side. He's going to be looking around to see what he can find going into hookah, but one corner. He's going to make himself visible, and Complex is there to find Jelly, but the immediate refrag comes down and finds Complex instead. It was all a giant bait, it seems. Moonblue, though, a 2v4 is not as undoable as it seemed before. Might be able to go up forwards and find the spike. They're all hiding away. Cyber Cages are going down. Moonblue caught in a trap. J-Ben is able to find him, and Brisk is able to clean up the mess and finding Infamous. That is going to be a beautiful attacking pistol round coming out from Archons, and it was desperately a round that Archons really needed now more than ever. Now they get to sit with a little bit more economics in their pocket. They're able to go for a light buy, and meanwhile, Penguin Sledding, besides Hazard and being the shotgun master, you have to relegate yourself to just classics, Bill.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised Hazard opting for the full Bucky here in the 14th. Full armor as well. This could be big from Hazard. Certainly looking to put on a play here. Here comes Hazard pushing up this mid corridor, looking for a fight. Archons wisely backing away, sending out the Paranoia Hazard, covers his tracks with that Cloud Burst, dashes up and over, and decides to back away for now, living to fight another day, but there could be another challenge right around the corner here. Hazard looking to push forward. Oh goodness, these are so close. These teams inches away from a fight. Here we go. Hazard wins out with the classic over Jabin. Sora finds the revenge onto Hazard. 4 for 4 now, favoring Archon still with that firepower advantages. Infamous brought down to 50 HP. Right. Penguin Sledding, though, have completely worked their way behind 2 members of Archons, but meanwhile, Archons have slid that spike on over towards the A site. This will be an interesting culmination to this 14th round. Sora picks up the double kill, takes down Jelly, won't be able to win out over Infamous. Infamous picks up the double kill, so close to finding another, but Complex puts a stop to that, and now Penguin Sledding have gotten themselves in a 2v2. Oh, excuse me, all they had going into this round was the Bucky and that full set of armor on Hazard, and now they are 2 kills away from stealing a thrifty round away from Archons. Moonblue on this back corridor reveals himself, tries to find that pot shot onto Revo. Revo takes a chunk of damage there. Revo challenging this corner as Moonblue continues to advance, continues to find more territory. There goes the camera. Surely Moonblue would have spotted that out as the time now ticking against the defenders. Complex forced to back away from the paint shells. There goes the flash. Oh goodness, the Roomba doing excellent work here. Complex gets caught on the reload. Revo on the backside though, very well could save the day here for Archons, and does, but it was closer than it ever needed to be.
See, the big question going into the second half was that if Archons could bring the same exact muster that Penguin Sledding was able to on the attack, and so far the answer is going to be a flawless yes in the second half, winning 2 rounds in a row so far, Dilly. That's no laughing matter. And slowly that gap that we saw, such a huge one in the first half, slowly closing its way back in. Still, it's a 4-round differential though. You have to keep that in mind, that if Penguin Sledding can get 1 round at the very least, at least they'll be double digits going into the first map of the grand finals.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see what happens, because look at the formation of the attackers right now. A little bit of intel being brought out into Hookah, a little bit being brought out into Showers, and they're debating where they want to bring this spike next. They're thinking much more methodically than what Penguin Sledding did on their own attacks, but they're not going as aggressive either.
So Archons biding their time now in this 15th round. They've done well to get themselves this far, but odds are not entirely in their favor here. Penguin Sledding putting together a stronger buy. So holding back our Penguin Sledding. Archon's so spread out here though, as time ticks down under a minute. They're gonna have to start making decisions. They're gonna have to start making a challenge up against Penguin Sledding. Archons still biding their time, holding their breath, waiting for Penguin Sledding to flinch first. Hyun challenging Hookah here, pushing up. Sora right around the corner. This is so dangerously close. Here comes the challenge. Hyun wins that particular duel, gets away with it as well. Scot-free for Penguin Sledding. So a 5v4, less than 30 seconds remaining. Here comes the push from Archons nonetheless. They've got their eyes set on B site. Infamous in the back of the site. We know how dangerous that Odin can be. There goes the first kill for Infamous. Gets traded out as Moonblue takes down Jabin. Complex takes down Hazard. Revo goes down to Hyun, and now just Brisk remaining for Archons, and Moonblue snuffs out the danger, and that's going to be Penguin Sledding onto double digits, and that's going to be Archons, more importantly, in a tough economic position.
Notice the complete turnaround from what we've seen Penguins bring out when they were on the attack to the defense now. Them winning their first round of the defense had them play so slow, excuse me, and relegated to the site. They were waiting for the push-up from the spike rather than having themselves go to the spike carrier. And that is a small but huge differentiation. And because of that, we saw them win that near flawlessly. And if we're going to see a much slower gameplay style from Penguin, they're masters of controlling the tempo of the game. They might be able to win this again flawlessly if they continue that same mantra. But we do see the, early mollies coming out from outside of Showers. Sora still debating about pushing in. It's going to be the rest of Hazard and company.
Oh no.
Going for a small little flank to see what they can find up next, but the Omen right around the corner has no idea. And boom! Hello! There I am! It's going to be Hazard with a headshot with the knife straight to the skull. But very wraithy skull. Infamous though with a double kill, and Hazard coming out with a final knife kill, the first and the last. Brisk had no idea what was coming. That was another flawless win coming up from Penguin Sledding, and that micro adaption that they used was so powerful, Dilly.
Absolutely.
I just talked for the whole round. I'm so sorry.
No, brilliantly done. Show this guy your love. One of the best to ever do it, no doubt about it. And now Penguin Sledding have gotten themselves 2 rounds away from a Game 1 victory. So essential to get a best of 3 started off in the right way. And Archons, this very well could be their last realistic chance to leave their stake on this game. Can they do it? No. Sora losing out to Hazard. That's not the start Archons would have wanted to get themselves back into this game. Penguin Sledding now 4 kills away from game point. And look at this, Penguin Sledding happy to fall back, happy to wait in the shadows for Archons. And Archons, they've got to take the fight to them. It's just a question of where and when. And if you knew the answers to those questions, well, you'd certainly be a very, very smart person. But these are tough questions for Archons to answer now. Hyun in this dark cover, feet away. There goes the engagement. Hyun finding the double kill now in this round. Or excuse me, I believe that's just the first kill there for Hyun. Able to back away now was Hazard picking up the opening kill for Penguin Sledding, and now a 5v3 favoring Penguin Sledding. Less than 45 seconds remaining. Archons, it's do or die time right here, right now. Here comes the push, and Infamous starts off the fireworks, takes down Brisk, takes down Jabin. Infamous mowing them down. Revo, the last standing Archon with 6 HP. It does not get any more dire than this.
I've been casting this game since the beta, Dilly. I think that's the first time I've seen an Odin kill.
That can't be. Have you casted a game on Ascent? It is maybe a first Omen kill on Bind. I can certainly see that is definitely a deviation that I feel Infamous is bringing to the table. That goodness. Takes some big brains and some big guts to execute, and is now coming up big for the side of Penguin Sledding. But certainly, yeah, Odin not making a lot of appearances into these purchases.
I'm really wondering why they chose the Odin. Obviously, the obvious answer would be because they can. They have the economics to do so. You might as well bring it out, right? But Infamous, it looks like he was practiced on that same angle. He was so confident about that push going through the A-short. He got not just one, but not just a rogue kill. He got a double kill out of it on Heaven with an Odin. You know, you can expect ops, you can expect phantoms, you can expect everything under the sun. But an Odin, it's a small thing, but it really surprised me.
It is a really surprising pick, especially. We'll see if Archons can do a bit of surprising themselves. Here comes the showstopper. There it goes. Does it find any damage? I don't think so. Somehow, miraculously, Penguin Sledding able to dodge away from the area of effect. And now here comes 2 ultimates from Penguin Sledding. Oh my goodness, that shouldn't happen. Hyun with that face full of showstoppers, still somehow able to survive, able to win out over Sora. And now Penguin Sledding putting their foot down. They shut the door in the face of Archons. Penguin Sledding, game 1 on Bind.
I gotta say, there was never an opportunity for Penguin Sledding to be in the back seat at all, Dilly. It was all Penguin Sledding the entire time. You know, I know you guys do an MVP for each set, but when it comes to this individual map, I really got to give that to Hazard. And of course, Hazard had an amazing support staff with him too. I mean, you got to give it to the Brimstone. You got to give it to everybody on that team.
Yeah, it was certainly a team collaborative effort there, but goodness gracious, Hazard put on a show in that first half, just getting right in the grills of Archons and winning too. Just massively impressive, and hopefully we'll see similar fireworks in game 2, which will be over on Haven, and game 3, should we make it there, will be on Ascent. But wow, what a statement from Penguin Sledding, a commanding victory in game 1. And now Archons, they got to answer that tough question. How do they bounce back from here?
I wish I had the answer. In the words of Dilly, you had to be a very, very smart person to figure that one out. But what we can tell you is that we will be going, I believe, to a small break. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Yes, I got it right. Okay, a small break, and then we'll be back with map number 2. That's going to be Haven. And we've already seen what Archon can do on Haven, but now they got to bring that same exact energy back against some sledding penguins. We'll see you guys in a few minutes.
Every time I look in your eyes, baby, I can feel your energy. It's making me realize everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, you and I. Everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, you and I. It's making me realize everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, you and I. Everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, you and I.
Welcome back. Cinderella has nothing on Penguin Sledding in this past tournament. They've been able to do such a great job bringing back these crazy clutch rounds and then even exasperating it again on Bind, the same match where they were able to come back 1-10 not too long ago in the grand finals for map number 1. My name is Keg and I'm joined by the amazing Dilly G. What's up, dude? How you doing?
I am very, very well, enjoying myself here in what has been an eventful week of the Valorant Sunday Showdown for the Big 4-0, week number 40 here for us at the Valorant Sunday Showdown. And we are so lucky because we have been treated to a spectacular show here from Penguin Sledding. They stomped their way, well, I say stomped, but I should say survived their way through quarterfinals, as Keg touched on, just by the skin of their teeth. And now they have stormed their way here into grand finals. They took a dominant game 1 on Bind up against Archons, and now Archons fighting for survival, fighting for a chance of that first place summit, and it comes down to this here on Haven, a map in which Archons have already been successful earlier in the day.
That's very true. But what some of my researchers, also known as Twitch chat, told me that Infamous practices the Odin on this map quite a bit. And if you remember from Bind, on top of Heaven, he was able to get a nasty double kill with it. Apparently he's something a bit of an Odin connoisseur, so I'm really excited to see a lot of wall penetration coming on through in this next matchup. But you're still completely right, Dilly. Archon was able to win pretty handedly over Onslaught on Haven not too long ago, and they have to revitalize that same energy they brought out if they want to have a chance to bring it to map 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Archons had a very complete performance on this map to get themselves through the semifinals into the grand finals, but the mountain has grown that much taller and it is now dominated by a pack of pesky penguins. Say that 5 times fast, why don't you? Pack of pesky penguins holding it down here on the defending side of Haven. Taking a quick look at the team comps, we see the double Reynas, the double Jets for either side, double Cypher, I almost said double Omen, but it's still Infamous holding it down on the Brimstone. Can't wait to see that Odin action, and Hyun bringing some ghost action already, taking down Sora. Archons have been brought so low. That was a monumental Molotov burning down the Archons, and now in a 4v5, more like a 3.5v5, Archons off to a stumbling start here up against Penguin Sledding.
I mean, what a stellar opening round for the Pistols coming out from Penguins. That is, other than winning instantly, that's pretty much as good as it gets for that opening pick right there. Already heavily damaged on 2 different members, or 3 members essentially. It's going to be just Moonblue, who hasn't taken any damage just yet for the attacking side. But even though they're kind of lost at the moment, Complex is able to find Hazard. That's going to be the Jet that we saw go crazy on the shotguns last game completely go down. But right now, that Spike doesn't have a dedicated home just yet. They're kind of searching, they're fumbling around, trying to see where it can go, whether that be A, B, or conclusively on C. But it seems like A might be the way to go. But the caveat to that is where all the Cypher utilities at. Cameras and tripwires abound. This could be a really devastating and really interesting and very fragmented hold for Archons if they push it.
Yeah, Archons now certainly have their work cut out for them, and Jelly just continues to inflict damage upon Archons. They will be able to get the spike down in Complex, getting a kill on an Infamous. This is important ground for Archons to gain as Hyun on the backside takes down Briss. Now in a 3v2, make it a 3v1. Jabin, 13 HP remaining, mowed down by Hyun. Penguin Sledding, 3 members remaining, wrapping up the first round here of Game 2 on Haven. And so far, the game plan paying off for Penguin Sledding. Archons now looking to see how they'll mix it up against Penguin Sledding, see if they decide on a force buy or if they're going for the long con. As of now, Archon looking to keep the money in the bank, looking to play for later rounds, not wanting to force the issue against Penguin Sledding.
Historically speaking, we've been seeing Hazard go a lot for these secondary rounds in each half with a shotgun, whether that be the Judge, sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes even more so the Bucky. We're not seeing either of those this time around. Either that's a bind-only method that they like to use, but they're only bringing the Ghost, or maybe they're just waiting a little bit longer. Right away, though, we are looking at Hazard really pushing on through very aggressively. Not a lot of intel. Win from the other side. Is able to find one. Might be able to find a second, but no, can't flick in time. Brisk is able to get the one-for-one trade, but no, the trade goes back into the favored twofold for Penguin Sledding side. That's going to be Moonblue with a double kill to end things very rapidly. Archons couldn't even leave their spawn, essentially. They were relegated to the window. They were relegated to the haystack dilly, and that's pretty much as far as the line went.
That was an excellent defensive performance, an offensive defensive performance, if you will. Penguin Sledding, understanding the firepower deficit that Archons had, just got right into their grill, kicked down the door. Hazard now with that infamous judge. I just thought for a moment Hazard might be holding on for an op, but of course that was a ridiculous thought, and we hear that clattering of the Odin ringing out as Infamous looking to lay down more damage. But it's gonna be that first kill once again going over to the side of Penguin Sledding. No, it wasn't Infamous, it wasn't Hazard. Now Hazard's gotta get the heck out of dodge. Hazard so nifty with that jet movement kit, able to get away, able to get the grand escape on, and now Brisk holding it down is able to recollect the spike as Jabin takes down Hazard in that mid corridor. That's a really important kill for Archons to get to try and start equaling their footing with Penguin Sledding. Meanwhile, Jelly on A site holding it down once more. Jelly has come up big here on the defending side. Can they do it once more? They're smoked out, but it doesn't even matter. Jelly's got the info. Jelly's got the intel. Jelly's got the kill, and now Archons in a 3v4 desperately trying to get this spike down. Brisk doing what they can will now finally commit to that spike plan as Moonblue takes down Revo. Jabin here in this corner with this a good angle, but turns away at the exact wrong time. May be able to get themselves a better position, but Archons, it's too little, too late. 3 in a row, Penguin Sledding.
I mean, no matter which way you look at it, Archons have gone for A every single round. They've gone for the aggressive peaks in the beginning on B. That didn't work. They tried going a little bit slower, kind of a 50-50 through Garage in the beginning and B window. That didn't work. And then this round, they tried playing a little bit even less aggressive this time around and wait for the peek out from Hazard. They got the opening pick, but it was immediately traded out back and forth between so many different players. That didn't work either going to A. A lot of the times when we see a team go for A over and over again, the simple change for those teams is to go to C and just relegate themselves to another site. That usually kind of solves the issue for a few rounds, but we haven't seen that yet from Archons. They've gone for A every single time, and with a huge shift in where the defenders are on the C site, I'm not the only one thinking that.
Yeah, Archons, they understand they've got to do it a bit different here if they want to catch Penguin Sledding off guard. And here it comes, Archons storming right through Garage onto C site, now taking the fight right to Penguin Sledding. Moonblue wants to back away, has to back away, not wanting to take a 1v5 fight quite yet. Archons with a solid execute out on the C site, but here comes Hazard on the backside, completely untouched. This could be so devastating for Archons as the trades start to ring out on the opposite side here, going 3 for 3. 2v2 now. Penguin Sledding closing in. Hazard on the backside takes down Sora. Jelly with the triple kill takes down Brisk, and Penguin Sledding, they are moving through this map like 5 Terminators.
Speaking of what we were talking about before, Dilly, being able to know that, A hasn't worked 3 times in a row, and more likely than not, they're going to go to the opposite site, is exactly what Penguin Sledding was planning for. Now that we're 4 and almost 5 rounds into the grand finals on the second map, look what we're seeing on top of the board. We have 4 ults on the side of Penguins, and we see Archons with 3. All of these, very intel-heavy, destructive ults on both sides. This could be huge for either post-plan potential if you're Penguins, or just simply getting onto the site if you're Archons. But getting onto the site and having even the chance of a post-plan has been the huge problem right now for Archons.
Archons have a lot of problems on their hand, and I was just going to say, the biggest problem on their hands is Jelly. 7-0-0 right now. Jelly, a flawless game here in 5 rounds. Hyun takes down Sora. Jelly on the hunt for more. So close to picking up the triple kill, but that's going to be Jelly's first death. That's going to be Infamous picking up the double kill. Penguin Sledding, the complete package 5-0 flawlessly over Archons. This is an expertly planned team performance coming out from Penguin Sledding, and now they've got 4 ultimates in the bank. Granted, Archons have 4 ultimates as well, but Penguin Sledding have shown they are the more capable team when it counts, and Archons gonna have to flip the script, and here's a little flipped scripting from the side of Penguin Sledding. There is 4 heckin' Odins on this server, and they're all on the same team. Here comes the rain. Penguin Sledding letting loose these Odin bullets flying across the map. Archons gonna have to do a little bit of dip, duck, diving, and dodging away from these Odin bullets, but now it's Infamous having to dodge away from the Hunter's Fury, and now the response Hunter's Fury from Penguin Sledding. But meanwhile, Sora storming right out onto Seaside looking to get the assassination. Oh no, but it's all gone! So wrong for Sora! What could have been the golden opportunity has fallen into ruin. Brisk trying to save Archons, trying to keep the hope alive. 11 HP as Moonblue takes down Jabin, but Revo takes down Hyun, maintaining this 2v2, and now a 2v1 as Brisk takes out Moonblue. Jelly left in a 1v2. Jelly is gonna have to be the hero once more for Penguin Sledding to keep this flawless streak alive. Here comes Jelly through Garage now. Oh, this is so close. Challenges Brisk, wins out over the low HP Brisk. Now the visual cover for that Cypher ultimate, revealing the last remaining member of Archons. Jelly now with all the information, the full picture, able to get this defused to halfway, and now Jelly on the hunt, turns, sees, and now Jelly, he's got the scent of that defender on the hunt, but no, Revo, so good in the clutch, the 1v1 Revo, enjoying the limelight, and certainly a deserved bit of selfie taking there for Revo. Archons finally get themselves on the board.
I would say that was a multifaceted win coming out from Archons, right? Because not only did they get their first point on the board, which is huge, both economically and for them, staying in the Grand Champs, but they also made Penguin Sledding use 3 of their 4 ults already on the board. That's going to be huge because they weren't able to win the round, obviously, but they also weren't able to find too many frags that really led to the success of those ults either. It did end up in a 1v1, sure, but even then, that wasn't enough. Now, Hazard to be poking on forwards, able to find the opening pick on the J-Ben, the smoke potential minus the jet completely gone. But now the Spike needs a home. You could aggress on to C, you lost the Omen smoke, so it's going to be much more difficult to do so. So the obvious answer now would most likely be on A site, and with Win already finding Brisk, that might be a bit more of a challenge than Archons were hoping to have, Dilly.
Yeah, Archons. Oh man, this is a tough fight. Win wins out once more, able to dismiss themselves away, but coming back for more. Win on the triple kill, single-handedly taking down the Archons. Win will finally lose out to Revo, but Revo won't last much longer. Penguin Sledding are the complete package here on Haven, and I have to say, Archons, it was a brilliant round for them in the 6th to snatch away that round from Penguin Sledding, but you have to kind of feel that only happened from a miracle for Archons. In a normal round, in any given round, Penguin Sledding have had the advantages on all facets, and now Penguin Sledding once again re-extending their lead to 5 rounds. Archons finding themselves once again in the midst of a disastrous first half, and once again with difficult questions to answer going into the later stages.
I'm wondering if the issue for Archons is just adaptability right now, because even though they are winning each round, Penguin Sledding on bind attack didn't really change what they were doing, and that allowed Archons, even going into the defensive second half, were able to string together those rounds because they can trip out that adaptability. This time around, Penguin Sledding is changing something up every single round despite them winning, and Archons, they're trying so hard to play catch up with this adaptability and figure out what's going to happen next. I'm not sure if it's the fault of the Sentinels or whoever, but it just seems like there's not a lot of intel that they really have on the board to catch out the aggressors, like Hazard, like Huynh, able to find these kills so handedly, and able to get triple kills off of it too.
It must be so frustrating for the side of Archons. I can't imagine having to try and sniff out Penguin Sledding without having these observer wall hacks that we have been so graciously gifted. I can't imagine how difficult a task this must be. As you said, Penguin Sledding are bringing something new to the table every single round. How are Archons supposed to adapt to that? They simply have to find an edge that Penguin Sledding don't have over them, but as of right now, that simply doesn't exist. Hyun, oh no, Hyun finds a first kill, almost finds a second, but it's gonna be Infamous mopping up shop with the Odin. Two big wall bang sprays, leaves Sora just now with 20 HP, will be able to get the spike down, but here comes the cavalry. They are absolutely storming through the map. Penguin Sledding make it 7 in the first half.
I mean, I'm speechless. That was impressive. Not only was Quinn able to get that really early aggressive peek with the leer flashed out in their eyes, but even then, on top of that, they were able to escape, get quickly traded out in Garage, sure, but that was enough time to distract everybody on the attack away from the top of the Garage Tower, where Infamous was sitting casually with an Odin getting a double kill to boot. That is impressive teamwork there, and honestly, it's kind of unmatched from what we've seen, at least from what I've seen in VCS so far. They had been able to work together like a well-oiled machine, and there's a huge reason why, and a lot of that has to do with being a well-oiled machine. There's 6 rounds ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Penguin Sledding here, setting a new standard for teamwork here, setting a new standard, frankly, for style here in the grand finals. And setting a new standard for sledding undeniably here. But Revo now taking on the role of hero, taking it straight to Penguin Sledding as 1v3 them thus far, looking for the 1v4. Infamous desperately trying to lay down some damage, will find a fair bit of Revo's health bar there, forced to back away as Revo, but now in a 2v5, Archons, this is very promising for them to get their second round of the half. Revo finally, the reign of terror brought to an end by Jelly, and now Jelly on the hunt with Infamous at his back. This is a 2v4, but I would never count Penguin Sledding out until the round is over.
Oh, I'm not really sure what Sora's being damaged by at the moment, but there we go, getting here outside of the storms, out of the shadows. Jelly's able to find Sora. It's still a 2v3. Spike has gone down. It might be too little too late, but if Infamous can poke on forwards, he needs to stay alive and keep this Odin in his possession. He's been able to use it so well and so effectively, but if he loses it now, it would have all been for nothing, it seems. 30 bullets in a dream, though. He's going to keep on pushing forwards. It's not too late. He's able to find one. Gets traded out. Jelly, though. Shark's getting able to find a double kill. Infamous is going to go down, and that's a second point on the board for Archons, and they're able to stay in the game a little bit longer. They're clutching at straws here, but it seems like just being able to draw out the round as long as humanly possible might be the key to success, Dilly. We've seen these much longer rounds go in the favor of Archon. They've been able to drain, like you mentioned, the stamina from Penguins as each round goes on and being able to stall out their aggression.
Really impressive stuff from Penguin Sledding throughout this half. It is nice to see Archons finally starting to strike back, but goodness, you saw that damage fly straight through the wall. Brisk, as soon as the round started, took Odin bullets to the face. I need some answers. Infamous, how are you so dang good with that big old gun? That is really impressive to see, and now Hazard in a bit of a Blade Storm duel. Oh, has the operator available as well. This is a first here in this series from Hazard. Pulling out the op, finds the opening kill, but Complex there will find the revenge. Now Archons, only 3 attackers remaining, though 2 of them have ultimates. Though that's 1 ultimate gone, and that's 1 teammate gone as well. Moonblue with a practically free double kill gifted to the defenders. Signed, wrapped, and handed over. Complex, simply nothing he can do. Penguin Sledding, strike right back.
Call them Mewtwo, man, because they strike back here. It's going to be a very, very tough battle for Archons right now. They've been able to win some of these rounds, but look on the scoreline now. It's been so fragmented, and that adaptability that Penguin has been bringing out only gets challenged handfolded, or what's the term? Wonderful, whatever, something fold. They're able to be challenged in that way. You saw Hazard push up all the way through C-Long and get the kill onto, I believe, Moonblue without being challenged whatsoever. And they're going to continue on doing that. Already the Odin pre-fire is going to be going on through, but it looks like it's going to be an A push coming on out from the other side of Archons' abilities, or teammates, but that spike is not going to be in the ground just yet. One does peek on forward. It's going to be Huynh looking to see if they can find anything, but they will not be able to. But still, the attack is very spread out, Dilly. Spike still not in the possession of anybody. It's going to be up to the Omen to potentially pick it up, or he's going to go to a lurking role. Instead, though, he's going to pick it up, and they're going to fully dedicate themselves to A site. Look above. There's one in heaven, there's two on the ground, and the other defenders are waiting for possibly the inevitable rotate into C. But that's not something we've seen Archons do too much, and they've been playing into that in their disadvantage. Leader's gonna be going on forwards. Hazard completely blinded out, needs to get to safety, able to shadow himself out to get away, but Complex is gonna fall. Sora with a 1-for-1 trade, another trade coming on forward, but nobody can see a god dang thing. It's so many trades going back and forth, it's like the stock market. Infamous though at the top with Heaven, trying to find whatever he can. The spikes will be going down in their possession. Dilly, you gotta look around, he's finding the pre-fire shots on J-Ben. But there's only two left alive now. One barely holding out into the blind spot right below Infamous. It's gonna be taken down from behind into sewers instead. Revo behind him, shot from the back. It's be Moonblue with his own Odin coming on through, and from hell the demons themselves. Infamous with a triple kill. Dilly, that's gonna be another defuse, and they're pushing double digits now, where Archon's barely pushing on 5.
So many trades, it's like the stock market. If you are not following this guy on Twitter, you are simply doing yourself a disservice. That was a brilliant turn of phrase there, and a brilliant round from Penguin Sledding. And they have gotten themselves onto a prime little pedestal here to close out this first half. 3 ultimates in the pocket, and they couldn't be 3 more important ultimates. That Cypher ultimate ready to go should they get that opening kill, as well as the Empress available for Hyun. Hyun has been an absolute monster here in this game. Operator in hand, 2 Odins in hand, 2 Operators in hand for Penguin Sledding. This is poised to be an explosive round. Sora looking to take the fight right to the defenders, surging up that mid lane, will be smoked out by Infamous as Infamous goes to lay down some bullets elsewhere, but Sora undeterred, wanting to push forward, but who's pushing forward? It's Hazard! It's Hazard getting this first kill! Oh, so close to the double was Hazard, but Brisk wins out in the end. So going 1-for-1 are the kills. The Empress pop for Huynh now, lurking around that map, lurking around the A corridor. Jelly on the back of this B site. Ooh, losing that trade to Sora there. Going back for more, gets taken out. Sora winning out over Jelly. More important kills here for Archons as they get themselves a 4v3 now. Turn their sights over towards the A side of the map. Spike is in hand. Only one defender there on A side. It's going to be Huynh. No Empress available. That has since run its duration. Here comes the push. There goes Complex getting the kill onto Huynh. Infamous now pushing around the corner. We've seen how dangerous this Odin can be, and Sora gets the heck on out of dodge. And now the spike is down. Archons with 4 members remaining. Be difficult to see how Penguin Sledding could get themselves onto double digits at the end of this half, but certainly nothing is impossible. Infamous lurking through this heaven angle. Who will flinch first? Moonblue pushing forward with the Omen. Reveals Complex. That's Complex losing out to Infamous!
Whoa.
Infamous gets the double kill, but no! So tragic for Infamous. Gets caught looking the wrong way down the street. Revo gets a much needed 3rd round for Archons as we move on into the second and what could possibly be the final half here for Archons in week number 40 of the Valorant Sunday Showdown.
Something to keep in mind too is that this is Archon's map pick. They did such a great job against Onslaught in the semifinals that it was a no-brainer for them to go back again in the grand finals. It seemed like it was an easy, surefire win, but here they are having 3 times as many rounds as Penguin Sledding has against them. And Penguin Sledding, there again never been a time where they haven't been on the back heel. Sure, there have been individual rounds like the one we just saw, but for the most part they seem to always be in control of exactly where they want to be and where the enemies need to be. With only 1 minute and 40 seconds per round here, we're going to take a lot of adaptability for Archons to really bring it back here.
Hazard already putting pressure onto Archons, goes up and over onto C site here. It's going to be Brisk, though, who gets the first opening kills. Brisk gets 2 kills. Revo gets 1 for themselves. Only 2 kills going over to Penguin Sledding, but make it 3 here as Moonblue getting out onto site, full HP with the spike now. Archons in a pincer formation here, squeezing in on Penguin Sledding. Oh no, Penguin Sledding looking the exact wrong way. Sora gets a big damage, able to back away for free, and now Penguin Sledding, their attention is away from the site. Can Archons take advantage? Sora wins out over Jelly. Moonblue sends out the shock dart. Oh, Moonblue almost loses out to a juking Sora, but does lose out to Complex, holding it down onto C site. Archons, that is 2 rounds in a row for Archons, and more importantly, a good start to the second half.
9-4 isn't really that bad of a split for Archons, all things considered. We said that last time too. It was a very similar scoreline going into the second half of Bind, but it's not impossible to bring it back in this instance. 1 half so far is a lot of time to realize what exactly Penguin Sledding wants to bring out, and this is a great chance to bring it back. That first pistol round was interesting to say the very least. It was a great defuse coming out from Archon's side, but now that they have the advantage of having some light-by weaponry, they gotta make full usage of it, and especially beat out that Marshall on B window.
Yeah, Penguin Sledding here with this force buy. This very well could be Penguin Sledding putting that nail in the coffin here for Archons. Moonblue trying to catch a pick mid, won't be rewarded thus far, but Penguin Sledding able to get themselves to set up shop here on A site as Hazard pushing forward now, brought down to 48 HP. Hazard finds big damage onto Complex, but Complex stands tall, wins out. That's 2 kills going over to the side of Archons, and now here comes the 5v3 retake. Complex surging forward onto site as Infamous burned down by that shock dart Jelly right around the corner on A corridor. Will lose out, and that is Archons putting together a flawless round, and more so, that is Archons breathing some much needed wind into their sails.
That's right. That's going to be a huge sigh of relief coming out from Archon's side. They were able to win off the light buy flawlessly at that, so they don't have to buy any extra weaponry or at least spend too much of their economy. Now, they have an option right now of either buying up into full buying weaponry if they really want to right now, or they might just stick with the light buy weaponry and just hold on tight. And if they lose this round, that's okay because they can just buy up even more in the next. But we are noticing a full buy coming out from Penguin Sledding's side. They've been able to make, of course, the Vandals work out pretty dang well in the past, but if they're not able to win or I guess lose for a 3rd time in a row, they're going to be in a ping-pong economy.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a half that risks being a very back and forth affair if neither team can really get a hold on it. See who develops the better bankroll is now Archons in this bonus round situation. If they steal this round away from Penguin Sledding, who has that firepower advantage, that is big news. Here comes the Hunter's Fury, but it's going to be Brisk picking up the opening kill with the Spectre. Moonblue comes up empty-handed. I say that too soon. Moonblue does find the kill with the Vandal, takes down Jabin through the dark cover. So the kills 1 for 1 for now, but Penguin Sledding in an awkward position here. They've been kind of stuck back in this corner of the C side of the map, unsure of where to go when trying to find a way out, trying to find an avenue into some site. Archons battening down the hatches, shutting the door in Penguin Sledding face. Penguin Sledding, though, running out of time, now need to start making some decisions. Brisk falling back onto C site as 2 attackers surge forward, spike in hand. This is the play, is now 30 seconds left on the clock. There goes the spike plant, and Archons regrouping towards Garage. Hwin, though, takes down Sora, who is on the rotate. That's big news for Penguin Sledding now in a 4v3, and Jelly taking out Brisk. This is disaster for Archons now in a 2v4, but make it a 2v3. Make it a 2v2. Complex has gone unchecked. Complex picking up the double kill. This is now a 2v1. Infamous has to be so heroic in this moment. Will it happen? Here comes the 2 defenders on the retake, pushing through the cage. Infamous takes out Complex, cannot take out Revo. Revo clutches out the 1v1 in the end, will secure the defuse. Archons get themselves a 6th round, and now they are properly gnawing away at that deficit.
That's right, it was a huge deficit before Dillian, now it's only down to 3. We mentioned before then it was 3 times as many wins that Archons had, or that Penguins possess. Such a weird way of forming a sentence. I'm not a math guy. But now it's only a 3-round deficit. We talked about the ping pong economy before, and we see Penguin Sledding now in a very broken buy. Buggies and Stingers and Sheriffs across the board. But meanwhile, on Archon's side, it's a completely different story. We do see Sora buying up a little too much potentially, but with an op in hand, I mean, who can blame them? Now, I'm really curious to see what this op can do. They're going to try and look through on sewers, not going to find a whole lot, but instead the aggressive Buggy going to be coming on through instead, maybe potentially, and it's going to be a 100% guarantee finding Brisk. Not able to find a second one though. Jabin there is able to find Hazard instead, and Jabin's going to keep holding his ground. He's able to find another one, but that Wraith is going to fall. Complex, though, is able to come in and clutch and find another one. With only 2 left alive now for Penguin Sledding side, Dilly, things are getting a little hairy as they try potentially to peek on B or C. But here's the caveat, though. They don't have the spike at all.
Yeah, no spike in sight here for Penguin Sledding. This is almost guaranteed a round going over to the side of Archons. And something we need to start looking out for in this stage of the series is if Penguin Sledding maybe took their foot off the gas a little too soon. Now, of course, this map, defensive, well, actually, I was going to rush to say defensive favorite. I don't know if I actually stand by that, but certainly appearing to be defending side favored here in this game in particular. And now Penguin Sledding, you saw it in the first half. They were starting to play with their food a bit. They were starting to buy 4 Odins. They were starting to do cheeky buys like the double op. And those rounds, those very few rounds that slipped away may come back to bite them. They could have had an opportunity to secure this series right here and now, but Archons 2 rounds away from tying us up and getting us into a position where we could very well be headed on over towards Ascent. See how it goes. Hazard once more, the aggressor will lose out to Revo. That's a big opening kill for Archons. They have 3 ultimates still in the bank. Oh, but that's not as great. Revo losing out to Quinn. Now the site certainly belonging to Penguin Sledding here on B. Archons completely spread across the map. Here comes the Hunter's Fury from the side of Archons. See if anyone from Penguin Sledding takes any damage as the Empress now starting to roll. Spike ticking down up against Archons. What can they do in this position? Bladestorm running. Here comes Sora right around the corner. Takes down Moonblue. Can't find the double kill. Hwin and Jelly win out over Sora and Jabin. Hwin with the dismiss. Slips on away, but Brisk mows Hwin down with that Odin. Infamous now with the orbital strike. Infamous comes up big up against Brisk. That could be exactly what Penguin Sledding need to deliver themselves onto double digits. Complex only 10 HP remaining. Only 0 HP remaining in Penguin Sledding. We asked if they took their foot off the gas, but they have gone full throttle.
Oh, good one. I like that. But now, only a 3-round lead. Still, it's going to be a very somewhat narrow win for Penguin Sledding side. They have double digits now. They only need 3 more rounds to bring this into a grand final victory for themselves. Or Archon needs to come back, and like you mentioned, Dilly, they need to bring out the Ascent inside of them. I'm curious to see how this next round's going to go. This is the first round where just about everybody, -1, has their full buys on the board. Right off the rip, though, we do see Hwin already take quite a bit of damage outside B. The Recon Bolt's going to possibly solidify that death for the Reyna if they don't relegate themselves too quickly to safety. But instead, they dedicate to it. Brisk is going to find Hwin instead, and Jabin, not too far behind, might be able to clap up instead. But I gave full permission for the rest of the attackers to go on the sea and get the plant down.
So Penguin Sledding now getting themselves set up, though they find themselves at a deficit here in this 4v5. The Bladestorm is still very much in play for Hazard, should they want it. There goes, that's the sound cue. Now Hazard, that much more dangerous, walking on in with that handful of knives. Sora with that operator available, trying to find a cheap shot here. Through the dark covered, Hazard can't get anything done with the Bladestorm, and Sora takes the head right on off of Infamous. Archons so close to closing this one out, and will do so. Sora with the double kill. Archons very much in the game.
Archons finally woke up and came online for the second half here. Look how different their performance has been, and almost every single one of their wins on the defense has been a defuse. They're playing directly into these post-plan situations, and can you really blame them? They're able to smoke everything off. They're able to play more aggressively with that Omen pick, rather than the Brimstone being brought out by the attackers where it's a little bit more static. They can have a little bit more malleability with it, and that allows them to get these diffuses.
Yeah, Archons. Oh, goodness. They are up to the task here. Sora with the hit and run. Takes down Jelly, but Hazard has pushed right on forward with the Bucky. Hazard takes down Sora. Brisk with the Retribution takes down Hazard. This eco round, Penguin Sledding looking to inflict as much damage as possible. Now have gotten themselves a kill. Can they find any more with their 3 remaining members? Infamous now pushing up onto B-side as Moonblue on the backside takes down Revo. That's big news for Penguin Sledding fans. They are within a shot here of taking their 11th round of the game. Can they get it done with the spike now? Win on the backside, biding their time, waiting for the retake. Oh, Infamous on the backside loses out to Complex, but Hwin meanwhile takes out Jabin, takes his head off, and now Hwin able to hold down the site, sends out the Leer to get a different position, gets the Phantom in hand as well. The overheal fully ready to go. Hwin takes the damage. No! Hwin loses out to Complex, and now Moonblue with this Hunter's Fury. Can they delay the defuse? Here comes the push back. Oh no, so close. The margins, I can't believe it. Brisk will be able to stick the defuse. That is so close for Moonblue. Did everything within his power and still has to say, for an eco round, Penguin Sledding got a fair bit of work done.
That was a pretty good eco round indeed, and now look at the scoreline. It's a 1-point differential between the two teams. That was, again, a really good eco round, and look how much they can buy up now. Infamous, not able to buy the Odin just yet. He's going to be 100 credits off, but at least he can join the... Oh, never mind, I was wrong. But, oh, nope, he's not going to go for the Odin. Instead, he's going to play with the rest of the team now, and this might be the same aggressive Penguin Sledding we've been seeing time and time again here, if they're able to just form themselves together and play and make sure they clear the site. Moonblue already trying to find some recon bolts going into B site. Not going to find a whole lot, though, as nobody's playing in there. They're waiting for the retake on Archon's side. That's going to allow Hazard to get on, though. However, Red is able to find Hwin in the refrag of, well, nothing. But right around the corner is going to be one off shot. Can they find the bayonet kill? No, they cannot! It's going to be Hazard planting Sora. But another one's not too far behind. Brisk is able to find Hazard instead, and another Hunter's Fury is going to come into boot. Dilly bringing things to a 3v4. The winning team right now having a man disadvantage, but the spike in the ground on one of the hardest sites to retake.
This is a pivotal round here for Penguin Sledding. If they steal this one away, they very well could walk away with the series. Infamous, this is so massive from Infamous, holding down the back of site. He's on 2 kills. Can he find the third? No, Jabin shuts him down. Now in a 2v2, Archons getting their footing onto site. They fake the defuse, get that started, the sound cue, but it's Jelly pushing forward on the backside. Jelly gets the double kill. Penguin Sledding onto 11 rounds. They are 2 rounds away from their first ever Valorant Sunday Showdown Grand Finals title. Penguin Sledding could get the job done and dusted right here. And one thing I wanted to touch on was the aggression from Penguin Sledding certainly fits their playstyle. You can see Hazard is just itching to get right in the grill of the enemy, but that's not what I wanted to see. I wanted to see Penguin Sledding holding back. I wanted to see them with a more default approach, but they said no. They said this is how we do things. We get aggressive, we get angry, and we take it right to them, and that has paid off in a big way. And now Penguin Sledding, oh goodness, Penguin Sledding, they are really inflicting the pain.
Ooh, pain is sometimes a motivator, though, and it seems like for both teams, they're full of it at the moment, shooting through their veins right now. It's gonna be a bit of a slower round. We're not entirely used to this, and you might be getting your wish, Dilly. Look at A-Long right now. Things are starting to warm up, though. Things are turning 2-12. The boiling point of the round underway as the plant goes down with not a single death on the board, minus all the trades that are happening as I speak. Though Jelly's able to find another one. Things are swinging in the favor. The pendulum of Sledding is gonna be in their hands. But no, for every kill they get, there's another refrag. It's gonna be a 1v1 now. Moonblue versus Jabin. It's the last one's alive. Jabin with the ult, the TP. He could be able to get out of there. But no, he's stuck. He's relegated. But he's able to find the kill. Taking down Moonblue. That is going to be 11-10. Riding on the coattails of Sledding Penguins. they're not going to let go of that gas pedal either, Dilly. It is a race to the finish, and only one can cross the line at a time.
Wow, that was absolutely heroic stuff from the defense of Archons there. Couldn't believe J-Ben winning it out in the end. Moonblue opting for the classic, brought him down to 6 HP, just a whisper more of damage, and Moonblue would have taken Penguin Sledding not to game point, but to match point. But for Penguin Sledding, they may have to wait a bit longer. Oh, Complex! So greedy, Complex rewarded! Greed is good, says Complex, rewarded with the double kill. Now on the overheal as well. Penguin Sledding trying to steal something back, but Revo shuts the door right in their face. Triple kill for Revo. Archons tied up at 11 rounds apiece. This is a game 2 for the books. Penguin Sledding 2 rounds away from closing this series out on Haven, getting their first ever VSS title. Archons 2 rounds away from sending this to game 3, taking us on over to Ascent and getting their opportunity to put together a Cinderella story of their own. And it will all be decided right here, right now. This is the round number 23. Penguin Sledding sending all 5 members towards this mid corridor. Sora has eyes on it though, has the operator forced to back away from that elevated position. Will Penguin Sledding decide to peek this? This is so dangerous. The Cypher Cage denying the vision for Sora, and Penguin Sledding continue to advance, but there is so much defense ready to go. Sora has that op scoped in, and now we are getting to the proper climax of this round.
It has been an iron blockade right now on B site. The spike's so close, yet at the same time so far away to B site. If they're able to make around the corner, Hazard that is, this could be huge, but the op shot's just barely going to go above their head. They had tinnitus right now if this were real life, but instead Brisk is going to fall inside a garage. Pick not going the way of our Sledding Penguins. It's going to be Hazard instead that finds the refrag. It's going to go back and forth here, but as they go forwards, they're able to find the spike to go down, smoked out entirely. They need the audio cue with the defuse, but they're still going to push up and try to find out all the defenders they can. 11 health in a dream. Jelly trying to be the backup now for Hazard, who's going to fall into Jebin. The Cypher Cage one way is going to be in full effect. He might be able to find some pre-fires, but no, he's not going to take the shot. Only one bullet away. There you go, able to find Sora, but not going to find the double kill. Jebin comes in and gets a triple to go for it as well. And that is going to be Archons able to get the defuse. A little too aggressive at times, potentially for Penguin Sledding. But now, this is the first time, I think in the entire series, Dilly, that Archon is in the lead.
It very well is. That is an absolutely incredible stat to consider. This is the first time in the entire series Archons have had a lead, and it is 12-11 game point here in game number 2 on Haven. Archons very well could send us to a third map. Penguin Sledding could send us into overtime. This is the round. Penguin Sledding once again opting for aggression, the forward advance. Quinn already establishing the real estate here in the mid corridor. Brisk has an Odin ready to go, waiting around that corner. Archons, 2 members on C, 1 in garage, 2 towards A. See how they come together as Penguin Sledding turn their attention towards garage, but Penguin Sledding, for one of the few times in this series, are biding their time for now.
It's not often where we see them in this position. Even then, it's still a little bit more aggressive than most. The Spike and one other hiding right outside of garage, waiting around to see what the next play is going to be from anyone on the attacking side. It's going to be Archons now waiting with the op in hand down the road, potentially, of C-Log, but no! He misses the shot still. Revo, though, is able to find Hazard elsewhere, though. That's going to be a really important pick. Sora having to relegate themselves away from the prime position of being a sniper, but through the Cyber Cage, still missing another shot. May be able to find the Cypher. It's going to be Jelly. Easy pickings, though, as the rest of Archon or Penguin Sledding comes onto site.
Oh my goodness!
Turn to the 4 for Infamous. Can he turn it into an ace? No! It's never an ace with these guys. It's always a 4K. Complex, though, alive, is able to bring it back, though. Moonblue clutches it out to a 12-12, and we're going to be going to overtime for the Grand Championships map number 2.
Oh my goodness, Moonblue with the Guardian no less takes the head off a complex, sending us into overtime. It does not get any closer than this. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle in. This is one heck of an overtime coming up. These teams have left it all out on the line. They have gone blow for blow, trade for trade. Look at these score lines. These teams both building up massive amounts of momentum, and still we are here. Overtime, round number 25. This is where it all comes down to win by 2. We very well could be walking out of here in a moment. We very well could be here for a while. It is all up to these guys. Hazard now with the operator in hand, no armor as it were, popped up on C long, but Archons not wanting to take a fight there, more so turning their attention towards A long. Archons back on the attack. Be interesting to see how they deal with this mix-up.
If you remember historically from before, earlier on in the very first half of this matchup, Archons on the attack was not a pretty sight. They have to go a little bit more aggressive than they did before. They sometimes mitigated it and played a little bit more balanced like they did against Onslaught in the semis. It didn't quite go the way they had hoped against Penguin Sledding, though. It was a very poor matchup. It was, I believe, 9-3 going into the second half. Though the spike is now on the ground, no one is peeking each other. This is a very slow matchup here. 50 seconds left on the clock. There will be some smokes going into heaven, though, and that gives tell to the defenders that it's all going to go to A. But spike is well ways away from A site, and the Omen has very close possession to it as well. Jelly's camera going to be blinded out by the Leer, but even then, it looks like they will be dedicating to A. That gives plenty of time for all of the defenders to rotate over to A site, but it looks like they're not budging just yet. They're taking their time. Look at the Brimstone up at the tippity top of the minimap too. He's rotating around to C, thinking he gets a huge rotate from the attackers. And the Cypher leaves too. Camera's still on site. He's gonna go back, and that's gonna give tell for everybody to skedaddle on over to A. With only 13 seconds left, you better get that plant down. Oh, this was all for nothing. And it does, Dilly.
Wow, Archons craftily get themselves into this 5v5 situation now to hold down A-side. Penguin Sledding are going to have to deal with all 5 attackers if they want to take this round away. Here comes the retake. 2 members of Penguin Sledding up in heaven trying to find an angle in. Complex has their eyes on that, has their eyes on this corridor. Here comes the retake. Complex goes 1-for-1. Jelly takes down Complex. Hazard now with the off. Takes down Revo. Moonblue takes down Sora, but Jabin still on site. Jabin gets mowed down by Moonblue, and now Brisk, the 1v3. Brisk gets a double kill. It's now a 1v1. Brisk, 24 HP, so close. Jelly, ice in their veins, but is the defuse? Is it close enough? So close, Jelly, no! .04. Brisk, the absolute madman, clutches it out for Archons.
Okay, hold on. I have to go to the recesses, like the deep wrinkles of my brain. This is gonna sound really weird, but stay with me, Dilly. I think it was either First Strike, or if we're going way far back, UK Valorant, way back in the beta, where someone got a super close defuse at 0.005 milliseconds, I want to say, and that was the world record for a clutch defuse.
That had to have been it.
It wasn't a defuse, I just want to say that.
That's true, it was an explosion.
Was probably the closest one we've ever seen in Valorant.
Absolutely mega stuff. It literally does not get closer than that, and now Archons 1 round away from closing this map out for themselves, but Hazard is still standing tall, gets the opening kill. Brisk finds the revenge. Brisk finds the double kill, mows down Hwin and Infamous, and now Penguin Sledding into this 3v4, but they have got the spike down. They are holding it down, so they have very much a hope and a chance as Archons are taking their sweet old time getting over to 8-site.
Oh man, this is getting heated up right now. Keep in mind too, if Archons is able to win this round, they're going to map number 3. If not, we're going to see another overtime set. Anything's a possibility right now. Sora's gonna fall though, Jelly's able to find one, but the frags are going everywhere! Hazard with a triple kill onto the site. Brisk is able to get a triple of his own. It's a 1v1, it's a battle of the Somas, but Moonblue comes out on top, and Dilly, we're continuing overtime like it's nothing. It's a battle of the A site right now for this attacking Archons team, and they're doing such a dang good job doing it.
Yeah, it's really only fitting with how this map has gone that we are moving into yet another overtime, but So impressive for Penguin Sledding to hold this out for this long, and now in this reset situation should be so tense. We'll see now. Penguin Sledding back on defense. Hazard with that op was so instrumental. See how it comes into play here in round number 27.
I am drenched in sweat, Dilly. I just want to let you know that. But what else I'm drenched in is bullets, apparently, because Sora's already taken quite a few. Not sure where on the body, but 26 health, no armor, and someone from long having almost no control, though. But speaking of control, that's going to be quite a bit from Win, able to find one. But the quick one-for-one trade comes on out. Anyways, you lose your only Sentinel on the board per the defending side. Moonblue's able to clap back and find the remnants of Sora. But even then, Archons, the attackers now down 2, need to bring it back now. They have their Sentinel. They lost both their duelists. It's the battle of the support players. They can bring it back, potentially, but they have to find a home for this spike. Already down 2, or at least a 1 disadvantage overall. They can't go to A necessarily. They could go to C and rotate through either garage or through long and try to get the unsuspecting Sova. But that might also not be a possibility depending on what they want to do next. They're being very slow about it. And Odin right around the corner, Dilly. Things are heating up quite a bit. And the Odin is going to peek on out. It's Brisk that falls first. And there we go. The recon bolt or Shockdart, one or the other, trying to stall things out as long as humanly possible. Jben right around the corner is going to have to try to face against the entire world. He goes on up. Moonblue with the Odin comes in clutch anyways. Revo takes down Moonblue and the clap back. Spike almost gonna go down, trying to bait out the stall. The leader comes on out. He's being surrounded by the enemy. Can Revo do it? Can we be the clutch cipher that we need but don't deserve? 10 seconds left. They're gonna stall out the timer. They don't care, and Hazard brings it back to a small little lead in the overtime with a frenzy.
Oh my gosh.
Holy moly.
What a situation. If Penguin Sledding, this is their opportunity once again to close this entire series out. We were practically guaranteed a game 3, but now Penguin Sledding very well could steal that away from us. This could be their opportunity to shut it down right now. Archons just need to survive here in this 28th round. This is brutally close.
Brutally close is still an underestimation, I feel, Dilly.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is by far one of the best games I think I've ever personally casted, and it's unbelievable what we're witnessing right now. But speaking of witnessing, let's take an eye on that Sova drone there. It's gonna be on B site, not finding any of the defenders, which gives tell that they obviously are not on B site, but they're on A and C. They can easily rotate back into the B site though if the quick plant goes down, and we can already see Rev prepped up to do so into the smokes. But that spike's gonna go in the full fruition on the B site. The clapback again. Rev is able to find Win. That's another duelist gone. That's a back and forth now. Rev having full control seemingly of the site, and the defenders also not too far away. Cyberkid just gonna go on through, able to peek on forward, looking around in Cubby, not gonna find a lot, but he finds Infamous instead. No Odin in his possession. One still inside B window. The recon bolt and Shockdart's gonna be underway, but it don't last for much longer. And it's 14-14. 2 triple kills from Hazard and Rev respectively. Then we're going to another set of OT.
I know you are exhausted. You are running out of breath. This is just the absolute marathon of a match. I can't imagine how these teams must be feeling now. 29 rounds into it. This is triple OT territory.
You know what? I am yelling so much that I'm probably going to have abs by the end of this.
This is a nice spot.
But we are going on forwards to another set of OT. Everyone wants to see either map 3 or Penguins be the grand championships here. But either way, it's a bit of a rough start here. Sora's able to find Moonblue. Infamous fighting around in C-Link, trying to find the Odin and get some good luck, and good luck is on his side apparently. He's able to find Sora, but the plant's gonna go down very quickly on C. These quick plants have been the way to go, it seems, if you're Archon on the attack. They've been able, actually on both teams, excuse me. They've been able to get one on C, they've been able to get one on B. So it goes back and forth, but that's okay. It's a 4v3 now. The defenders having down one. One duelist gone, one sentinel gone as well. You gotta take control of the site once again. Having almost no intel at all. Jelly's gonna be pushing on forwards, not finding anything. It's all pre-fires, but they're all inside C-Long. Jelly's able to find J-Ben, but it's gonna be a clapback, a 1-for-1 trade once again. It's so many trades back and forth. The kill feed is lighting up like a Christmas tree. It's now 3 kills on the board, only 1 left alive. Make that 0 now, and that is gonna be Brisk. Having the small lead yet again for Archon's side, but it's a battle of who the heck, Dilly, can win a defense round.
So brutal. And now, I mean, what else can you ask of Jelly in such a situation? Jelly playing the role of absolute hero for Penguin Sledding, putting together 3 massive kills, flipping 90 degrees back and forth, still able to cover so much ground for Penguin Sledding, still Penguin Sledding coming up short, and now we are moving into the tail end of this 3rd overtime. Penguin Sledding, they had the chance to close this entire series out. That opportunity has passed for now. It is gone into the hands of Archons. Archons with the opportunity to close this game out here in this 3rd overtime. Send us over to Ascent. Hwin may have something to say about that. Takes down Complex. Now, Penguin Sledding in a 5v4. Still, Sora trying to hold down this B site. Penguin Sledding non-committal to start out this 30th round here of game 2.
You're going to have a deep breath after this one. There's so much riding on the line yet again. Even though the overtimes and the points keep on going, it keeps resetting itself yet again. Penguin Sledding has a point, or at least one man on the board, but they're going to be rotating around to A site and trying to go for this rush yet again. We have now in the overtime seen rushes on A, B, and C, and seemingly they kind of work 50-50 both ways. Infamous is able to find Rev, that's going to be another one gone for the defenders, and things might even back out to 15-15 yet again. Hazard again, able to find Sora.
Wow.
Duel is gone, only one left alive. That's Brisk coming in for an attempted flank, but the attempt is the emphasis there, as it's too little too late to go for against the flawless team as Penguins are. Moon Blue able to find Brisk. That's going to be an even 15-15. And hey, Dilly, you'll never believe it, right? Going to another set of OT.
Who could have guessed? And certainly not me, as we see almost every KDA on the board now wax over 20 kills. These guys have been just slaughtering each other here on Haven, and now we move into a quadruple overtime situation. Penguin Sledding 2 Odins on their side. Infamous and Moonblue holding it down. Operator going on over to the likes of Hazard. Jelly holding down A-Long. Jelly was the hero for Penguin Sledding previously on the defender side. Can they come up big again? But it's going to be Hwin pushing the envelope here. Oh, on this flank, Hwin is going to find such big rewards.
Yes,
takes down the spike carrier. Jelly picks up a big double kill towards A corridor. This is disaster for Archons. They do not want to give this round away as Infamous mows down Revo. It's Brisk, the lone attacker standing, picks up the spike. Brisk with this Vandal in hand has 2 shock darts in the pocket, no armor and 70 HP, and is revealed there by the Cypher ultimate given over to Jelly. A great reward for Jelly's work on that A-long corridor. Brisk stuck between a rock and a hard place, and now Penguin Sledding for the 2nd time tonight find themselves on match point here in grand finals. 16-15 Penguin Sledding over Archons. Could all come down to this. It could very well move on to quintuple overtime. It all comes down to round number 32.
Is this the longest game you've ever casted?
It actually isn't. We had a game go 34 rounds previously.
Ooh, we're coming close.
Yeah, that is the record, so we are getting very close. How about you? Is this the longest for you?
No. I think we were pushing 20-something at one point. I think. But
Jeez Louise.
that doesn't matter, because 20-something is pretty much the scoreline for everybody in terms of kills on the board for both sides. But with all that being said and done, Penguins have done a pretty good job on the attack, but Archons have done even better on the defense on Haven. Sora's able to not find one, he's able to actually find Hazard instead in the trade. He's able to hold on to the site a little bit longer, but it's the Cypher who wants to peek up and find the spike yet again. That Vandal's on the ground. You have another Vandal though, but Infamous comes back and finds Sora. Only a short-lived refrag though. Hwin's able to find Brisk as well. This could be what we were looking for the whole time. This could be a few short of another VCS victory, or at least a record. But no, Jabin needs to play this perfectly. He has to do it such a good well. But no, is he able to? It's gonna be map number 2 going in the favor of Sledding Penguins. They win the championship, but by a hair. It was a huge landslide beginning for Penguins in Haven. And then suddenly, Arkin brought it back in the second half. And, well, Dilly, that second half never really ended up until now.
Yeah, that
My hair's
was
a mess.
certainly the. I know I had to do a bit of check, knowing the camera was coming back. I'm all sorts of sweaty and out of breath. Can't even imagine how these players must feel. But Penguin Sledding taken to the absolute limit by Archons. This was a fantastic showing for Archons, despite the defeat here in Grand Finals. I think Penguin Sledding looked set to run away with this series in Game 1. But Archons showed that mental toughness. They showed the fortitude to stay strong in the face of adversity. They were able to take the lead at points in Game 2, and they were millimetrically close to taking away the victory as well. So all congratulations going over towards Archons. But the biggest congratulations, of course, going to our waddling Arctic friends. It is Penguin Sledding. So exciting to see this roster make it to the top step. These guys have been grinding out this tournament here for the last few weeks. A steady increase in placements, now leading themselves to the top step, and a very bright future for both of these rosters.
Bright futures indeed for both of these rosters here. Hwin getting the MVP of the matchup there, and a combat score of 265 is pretty dang good. But my main question is, Dilly, what's going to happen next week with these two teams?
If you can predict that, we've got to get you on down to Vegas, because you can predict powers greater than what we have on to offer. But simply what we can say is expect the unexpected. These teams, these talents have shown that anything at any time is always up for grabs. It has been such an exciting week here at the Valorant Sunday Showdown, and we almost got close to a record-breaking overtime match there for our grand finals. But that is going to do it for us here for week number 40 of the Valorant Sunday Showdown. We here all at the VSS team just want to thank all of the teams, all of the viewers, all of the chatters for supporting us here for 40 great weeks. And here's to 40 excellent more Valorant Sunday Showdowns. And I'm Dilly G.
And I'm Keg.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Don't need, I don't care, and I won't give.